and we're back for episode 7. I don't have a title for this yet.
No, the only thing I figured was like Randorama Take 2, but not going to be a 3-hour episode like last time.
Yeah.
We had some restructuring of the show, so hopefully things will go better and less tech issues as well.
Yeah.
We've redone a few things, so hopefully things are better for you guys, for us, for you guys, everybody involved.
We had a complaint from the front office of how long the last episode was.
Yeah.
My management.
Yeah.
Said, John, movies aren't even that long. And I was like, I know. We just had a lot to say.
we just had a lot to talk about on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
so
then,
we'll do better.
Yeah, we'll do better. And then editorial was fun apparently as well.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, when is this going to end? No, but no, I was kind of disappointed with that last camera issue, but where people couldn't see my party face.
I know, right?
I was like, man.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh well, stuff happens, but hey, we keep going and we make it better.
That's true.
More better.
I just want to start off with 2 things. Thanks to everyone who watched the last episode, episode 6, the original Randorama. Sorry, my cat fell off the counter over there. And want to give a shout out.
Yeah.
Because I know he's listening.
Okay.
Because he's a big fan of the Lost Signal podcast. I want to say a big happy birthday to Elon Musk.
Hey.
I know he's listening.
There you go.
I know you're listening, Elon. But
happy birthday.
But one other thing that has taken place, I guess with both of us, is last month we went and watched Metallica live in concert.
Yes, we did,
and
it was flipping awesome.
Yeah, it was
so cool.
Great show.
Very good show.
So
I didn't hear that there was an earthquake there at our venue.
Yeah. But it's all right. Well, yeah, but it was great. It was great. I loved it. I've wanted to watch them since I was in 7th grade, and that was a very long time.
Did it.
And that was a very long time ago. So, but you have something you want to talk about, something that's happened with you in the past few days.
Well, it was kind of more of an annoyance, something that happened, but and it's in our local area, and I'm going to call them out too.
Do it.
But I think it's ridiculous. So this happened a couple nights ago, and it was regarding how early restaurants close, like where you can go in and eat. Mm-hmm. I tried. There was, and so to be fair, in our area, there's not a whole lot of nice sit-down restaurants, but you still can go in and eat. Right. And that's what I was trying to do.
Right.
I didn't want to go through the drive-through. I wanted to go sit down. It was a long day. I just wanted to go sit down, enjoy my food, and then go home. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. Well, it was right around 9 o'clock.
Yeah, they roll the sidewalks up then.
They do.
In Marion.
Yeah. But some of them used to not be like this, though.
No.
And they're still, I guess, milking COVID or whatever excuse that they rolled them back up in, where they started changing their hours.
Right.
But I think restaurants closing at 9 is ridiculous. And I get it, as far as during the week, probably a little slower in the evenings. Mm-hmm. However, in the summertime, extend them.
Yeah.
I think. Because people are out and about more.
At least till 10.
And so Pizza Hut was one of them. Mm-hmm. Closed at 9. Bojangles, 9.
Yeah, Bojangles is garbage anyway.
Well,
sorry.
Marion runs on chicken.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, we don't have a Chick-fil-A. Come on.
No, we're not going to get one either.
No. It's a shame. Don't get me started on that one. And then Zaxby's.
They close at 9?
They close it completely. Drive-through and everything was dark at 9 o'clock. However, you drive 20 miles to Forest City, they're open till 11.
Why would you want to go to Forest City?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
For example, I was like, that. I know for a fact Zaxby's was open till at least 10.
Right.
drive through at least.
Yeah.
You know, but and then here's the thing is so you know that McDonald's down there by Lowe's because they just
the
opened
one
back
on
up.
70. Yeah.
They just opened back up like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
From where they were closed from Helene.
Yep.
It took them forever to get it open. I think the same crew that worked on Wendy's got it done first and then went to McDonald's because
Oh, really?
because nobody was working on it. They emptied it out.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was like a standstill at McDonald's
Yeah.
inside. But anyway, it's back open about 2 weeks ago. And I was like, fine, I guess I'll go there. But I was just determined to go in and sit down.
Right.
But anyway, so I went in and 2 weeks in from them opening, tried to get the infamous McFlurry.
Oh, you can forget that. Ice machine's down. Or ice cream machine's down.
I was like,
They're cleaning it. Sorry.
they don't clean it. They don't want to clean it. That's why it was broken. McBroken.
Oh.
But they said that it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's never working. It's
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory.
Well, yeah. They don't want to clean it. Allegedly,
But
between
they want $15 an hour.
at least 15 an hour. But the McFlurry machine was down.
Okay.
2 weeks in opening, brand new basically.
Yeah.
Wasn't working. However, they had milkshakes. It worked.
Okay.
Okay. Probably a different process. I'm sure somebody will say, hey, this is not, two different things.
Right.
Sure. They had slushies. I know that's a different machine.
Right.
But then, so, and some of the workers there, I mean, I'll give them credit. They were trying to make things right. As long as they weren't using the excuse of didn't want to clean the machine and it was actually messed up.
Right.
Okay. I just kind of find it hard to believe 2 weeks in and it's not working already.
Things happen.
Yeah, they do. But I'm glad that because before to get replacement parts, you couldn't do it because it was like extraordinarily expensive for the franchise to get parts for that machine. But now that license or that whatever expired, so they can open it out to third parties now. But anyway, so the workers tried to make it right for the most part, substitute for other sweet items, like milkshakes instead of McFlurries, slushies. They didn't have any pies either because I wanted an apple pie. So I wound up getting chocolate chip cookies. Okay. And, they're like, well, we can either substitute it with that. I said, well, as long as it's the same price, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's no big deal. They're like, or we can do a refund. Fine. Doesn't matter. And then we sat down, started eating. About 5-10 minutes in, I was like, okay, finally got food, and just trying to get the evening to a close. Then what happens? Fire alarm goes off at McDonald's.
Nice.
And it goes off for like at least 5+ minutes straight. And I'm like, I ain't getting up. I ain't leaving. I'm eating.
It's not safe.
I didn't see smoke. I didn't see sparks. I didn't see nobody else was moving. They just kept on dropping fries. So I don't know what happened. But anyway, yeah, the fire alarm goes off. And then one more thing happens that evening. And this sums it up as far as like, oh, welcome to this area. So, where Walmart used to be down there?
Big Lots.
Big Lots. Well, where Big Lots used to be too.
Yeah.
But so that used to be the Walmart parking lot down there. And, it was a big hangout spot for, the high school kids and whatever, young adults, whatever. And so as we were leaving there, I heard a bunch of shouting, not like angry, but just like, woo, like going nuts. And so I look over there to that parking lot and I see this squatted SUV. I was like, okay, well, that's ugly. But anyway, and illegal. But they were shouting at this other car that was parked in the parking lot, and they were going around it in circles. And they had a gel blaster gun shooting them, just driving by. I'm like, nice. But anyway, they were just screaming at each other and shooting each other and stuff. But it's like, okay, what a wild evening, and I didn't have anything for this, this opening part until that evening. And I was like, well, there's a bunch of stuff.
There you go.
So anyway, that's other than that, everything else is pretty quiet. Nothing too exciting happening. Other than that,
it's like I said, I don't have anything. Nothing exciting has happened. No.
I had to think about it.
No, Michelle's on a trip with her sister, and they'll be back Monday.
Nice.
And
been kind of quiet.
It's just been me and Lil Man since Tuesday,
dude.
So yeah.
Yes, sir.
So yeah.
Got time.
All right. So my first topic.
Yeah. What you got?
That I have. I first saw this on Expedition Unknown.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, shout out Josh Gates. Also know you're watching.
Good show.
Yeah. And but have you ever heard of the book called The Secret?
Is it a no?
It's a book. It's right here. But it's a man by the name of, not on the front page or the cover, I should say. What is this dude's name? Found it.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, cool.
The man's name is Byron something. Preiss. Preiss. Byron Preiss.
Sure.
Anyway,
it's called The Secret.
The Secret. Well,
Okay.
Byron drew these little illustrations here in this book. We'll put some up on the screen for you. But Byron was also a very wealthy man. Okay. And Byron hid treasure all across the United States in cities.
Oh, that's cool.
And what he did is this picture that he drew is a clue to what city it's in.
Okay.
Along with
like objects or items in the picture or background or something. Should be
also with they call it the verse. And it gives you clues.
Okay.
As well. 3 of the 12 have been found.
Okay.
So far. And those are Chicago, Cleveland, and Boston have been found. So there's 9 left. And they're worth like millions. And the reason he did this was to get people outside.
Oh, kind of like the Pokemon Go approach.
Kind of.
Just before that, probably.
But yeah, here's the...
Oh.
But all these pictures are cities.
Different cities across the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, like that one's Cleveland. This one's Chicago.
These have been found?
These have been found.
That's why the locations are there?
Oh, I wrote that.
Oh, okay.
My beautiful handwriting. According to Mr. Josh Gates, this is Florida. Somewhere in Florida, because they think that's a conquistador.
And there's a palm tree right there.
Yeah. But getting you to what I was telling you about, and that one's New York. That is the Statue of Liberty's face, but nobody can find it. That is a perfect.
Yeah, that's Statue of Liberty right there.
Yeah, 100%.
Lady Liberty. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, Lady Liberty.
But these are like the clues. So this one that the page covered up goes to that picture. I don't know why they didn't put them together in this, but this clue, these verses go to that first picture of that lady right there.
Okay.
But what you find, and it gives like a little small. Sorry, I hit the microphone. But this is the treasure. They're in decorative boxes.
Huh.
And there's precious.
How big are they?
The one that I saw on Expedition Unknown, maybe, I don't know, like that.
Okay.
You know?
Less than a foot, like relatively small.
Yeah. But it holds gemstones.
Huh. Like
rare and precious gemstones. And they're worth a lot of money.
Okay.
And I just think this stuff fascinates me.
Is that what they all contain?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll put some of these pictures up on the screen for you. This one right here, this picture here confuses me to no end. I cannot think of any American city that involves camels. Now, I do understand the desert portion of it, but yeah, like that one right there. That to me makes no sense at all.
Was that like a pillar of? I don't know. Reminds me of biblical stuff.
I mean, that's a man with his arms crossed, or something with his arms crossed. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's a camel.
It looks like a head.
A camel head up there on that column. Yeah, well, yeah, there's one up there too.
Yeah.
Where would that be?
I don't know. I mean, and you have a desert scene behind you. So, like, Arizona is the only place here that really has like desert
dunes and stuff.
And,
well,
and
kind of.
And like Southern California and Nevada. But the camels, I don't understand that part. Unless old Smoking Joe from back in the 80s, you know, unless that's something it's referencing to, because this is an old book.
Okay.
It's just had other it's had additions and things like that done to it, but like the original 1982 was when now the original book was just the pictures and the verses. That's it. It was just like a little
pamphlet,
12 13 14 page book, and that was it.
That's expanded quite a bit.
Yeah, now it describes all other kinds of stuff. Like, it's really weird. Like the next part after all the verses is the field guide to the fair people, FAIR people, and they're like little dolls. But there's an actual.
Oh, that's creepy.
That's what the box looks like with the jewels in it, and they have a key.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's creepy.
Yeah, I don't understand this part with all the creepy dolls and stuff like that. I don't get that, because that was never part of the original, to my knowledge. So yeah, but it's called The Secret. And we'll put it up for you. We'll let you see it. But I think it would be cool to go look for something like that if it's, anywhere close.
Like if there's one here in
North Carolina or something like that. And it says here on my screen, excuse me, it said the book contains clues to locate 12 buried ceramic, I don't know how to say that, treasure boxes. That's not what I know how to say that. It's this other word. Hidden across North America. Each treasure box contains a key that can be redeemed for a valuable gem. So yeah, but it's called The Secret.
That's very neat.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But the first time, like I said, the first time I heard about this was on. I'm guessing Expedition Unknown with Josh Gates.
Okay.
So yeah, get out there. There's treasure in them hills.
Treasure. There is, and that'd be neat. That one, like you said though, that's kind of got me puzzled about the camel one. I don't know where that would be located.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know.
I mean, because there's kind of desert-ish type stuff, Midwest, out there, but it's not like Dubai or like the outskirts of that, or Middle East countries. Where they actually have dunes and camels a lot, and just I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of puzzling.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's a camel petting zoo. Probably not.
I don't know.
Find one that was there in 82 and then still there.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't get it. That one gets me.
Yeah.
I mean, so do all of them. Even the ones that have been solved, I can't look at the pictures that it gives you and reads the verse that comes with the picture and be like, oh yeah, that's Chicago.
Yes. Like how do you know where that's at?
Well, the one guy, the guy that was on that episode of, I believe it was Expedition Unknown, was talking about the Chicago picture, and this is the Chicago picture right here. And he said that this building that is a windmill,
yeah,
is what told him that was Chicago because of just the building.
Not the windmill?
Not the windmill. The windmill was just added into the picture.
Oh.
But this building right through there told him it was Chicago. There's a building in Chicago that looks like this. Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, and in the episode, he took him to Chicago and was like, there it is.
And so the box was there somewhere at that building? Or
I think so, yeah. It was in a park, I believe.
Near it or...
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But each little thing in the picture, I mean, it tells where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is beyond my comprehension. So
my mind doesn't seem to really work that way.
yeah, I know, right? Mine either.
Huh. Fascinating, though.
So yeah,
how people can be like, oh yeah, that's so and so, wherever.
right.
And even from there though, like Chicago, for example, I mean, that's no small town.
Mm-mm.
So, to find a box of gems or, whatnot, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought so too.
Yeah. So, a few episodes ago, we had Joe on here.
Yeah.
And he had actually had shared this around on social media a little bit, so you might have already seen this. But it was about the whole Starlink thing. That's
I saw something that he posted about Starlink the other day or something. Yeah.
And actually, I already had this in the doc, but I was like, huh, great minds. But basically, so my question is are they charging too much to start service around in this area? Because how much, because you've got Starlink.
Yeah.
And how much was it for you? You had to buy the kit.
Yeah.
It was like, what, $350-ish?
No, it was more than that. It was 5 something.
Okay. Did that include like the first month, or that was just the equipment?
Yes. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember if it included the first month or not.
Okay.
But I know it was 5. It was 5 something.
Okay.
I want to say that was just equipment.
Okay. What about the monthly cost? What is it around for you?
$100.
$100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because and I've got this, I'll put it up on there on the screen, and but the standard kit right now is and these are one-time payments, $349 as of this episode, $349, and then due to demand in this area, they're charging an additional $500.
Yep.
It's a one-time thing, and then tax, shipping is free, or $0. Doesn't say free, and then residential service in this area, the cheapest you're going to get is $120 because of the demand in the area. Right. So they're charging extra to come on board now.
Yeah.
But the demand surcharge, due to high demand in your area, there is an additional one-time charge to purchase Starlink services. And I think this is a deterrent Like a lot of people with seeing that, because this comes out to $872.56, almost $900 to start internet service, and then $120 a month. Or I mean, you could finance it, according to Klarna right here.
Yeah,
$55 a month, and if I divide that out, it's about 15 or 16 months.
Yeah,
which is kind of bananas, but
yeah.
But $500 additional than what you normally would, just because it's such a high demand in the area.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we had no communication for weeks last September.
Mm-hmm. But we do now.
Huh?
But we do now.
Yeah, but it's kind of like when, I mean, the price doesn't go up on it, but it's kind of like when, because it snows so much here. That's a joke.
I was going right along with
and everybody runs out and buys milk and bread,
milk sandwiches.
Yes. And I think that's what this is, because people are afraid that this is going to happen again. And we need to get this, and I think Starlink realizes that. And
well, they can see it with the amount of influx of customers and usage of their satellites up there.
Yeah. And when the demand is high, you raise prices,
and people pay it.
Yeah. And so,
and that's what this is.
Yeah, and it'll come back down. It'll drop eventually.
I guess maybe when they get more satellites in the sky, as long as they can stop blowing up rockets here lately.
Yeah, I know,
dude.
But
sorry, Elon.
But hey, it's his birthday.
I know. That's why I stopped. I was like, okay, whoops.
But
put my foot.
But I think I think people think this is going to happen again.
More than just 100 a year.
Well, this was 500 year.
Oh, this was 500.
Yeah, this was a 500 year flood that hit us last September. So
I'd say it happened before another 500 easily, but we'll see.
Well, if you go by science, it'll be worse. It'll either be worse or almost as bad.
Yeah,
because we had the 500 year, and they have the 1,000.
What is it?
Too?
Yeah.
And which was really crazy, because when I did my little survey stint, and I did survey, and we had to go. I believe it was a campground in Salisbury, somewhere that way.
Yeah.
And we had to survey for the 500 and the 1,000 year flood for that campground.
I bet that got really interesting.
It was wild.
Wow. Like where the water would,
where the water would be.
It would go.
Yep. And how much, and that campground had a dam at it, and we had to go past the dam and survey that out too, if that dam busted and gave way, and all that.
Wow.
Yeah,
that sounds very complex.
It was wild. Yeah, it was really wild. But I don't think little old Marion could handle the 1,000 year. I think it would just get wiped out. Not downtown area, but the areas that were affected. And
how much more water would go through there at the 1,000?
I guess it would be double.
Would it double?
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, that would be terrible.
I do know this. It's been, I don't even know if I should say this or not, but it's been 5-6 years ago. They were worried that and I don't really know who they are, but they were worried that the Lake Tahoma Dam was failing. And
I heard something about this.
And they said that if it gave way, water would be up to Pizza Hut.
From Lake Tahoma?
Yeah. Yeah, it would run down and come up North Main up to Pizza Hut. And I said it would be that much water.
Well, all I got to say is they better be open past 9 o'clock.
Well, if they're above water, maybe.
We got to eat.
Mm-hmm.
If they afloat, we eating.
Yeah.
Open the doors. No, sorry, I had to interject that. That's wild. That's a lot of, well, because the water came to the old Ford place down there, like that intersection.
Yeah, it made it up into the North Main 70, 221 business intersection. It made it up to it.
Yeah.
And completely covered 70, except the intersection at 221 North. It's kind of a dip there and a dip on the other side of it. It was underwater on both sides of the intersection. Yeah. And I believe there was a little part past the intersection going up 221 North that was underwater where the river came over the bridge.
Yes. Yeah.
I know there was a lot. I didn't see that, but I know that there was a lot of mud on the road up there.
Yeah,
they got washed up.
Speaking of a lot of mud, there's you can Google Earth maps, whatever. They've updated it. You know, they updated it shortly after the hurricane came through.
It was in a few weeks.
Yeah, and but I noticed they're updating things a lot more frequent these days.
Yeah,
which is good.
It used to be what, once a year?
Once every year or like 2 years, depending on how much that area develops, how quickly. But with the natural disaster, I guess they wanted.
I wonder if they did that just because of landslides.
Maybe
they wanted to compare to see where
land shifted or whatever. It's possible.
Speaking of, go ahead. No, finish. Then I just had a thought because you got me talking about, or you didn't get me talking about. You started talking about Google Earth.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and
that was it as far as that topic goes. I just hopefully and the thing about it is even if you already have the service, I mean not the service, even if you already have the equipment, like say I had some people that I know that went out of this area and bought the equipment, right, but it won't let them set it up unless you pay the additional, which is bizarre. But I get it. But I was like, too bad there's no way to set it up there and bring it back because it's going to know. It wants to know your exact area so it can give you, quote unquote, the best satellites, which is probably the case. But I was like, well, that's when you just go get one of those mobile units.
I actually saw one on top of a car the other day going down the road, and I thought that was pretty wild.
Was it an older car?
No, I want to say it was like a Subaru or
okay,
but it was.
I can't remember what this one was. It was an older car.
But I mean, I'm not. I could care less if it was on a Subaru or whatever.
Outdoors, man.
But it was like it was being used for something. It had other antenna. It had like 5 or 6 antennas.
Maybe it was a Subaru. That sounds exactly like the same car I saw.
Off of it, and
it
was kind of.
It was like
I know. Well, I guess they are compared to the actual regular Subarus, but it was kind of like the lifted one. Yeah, that had more of the all-terrain tires on it and things like that. It was one of those, but it was. Yeah, I saw it on 70 coming home.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Sitting over there near Ingalls.
Where am I at? You said something about a landslide.
Yeah, something about Google Maps.
And it jarred my brain.
You're like, oh.
Which don't take much.
But yeah, it made you think of something.
Yeah. I got to find short off, though.
Okay.
There it is. Whoop, wrong way. Now, this may be absolutely nothing. I'm sure if you look at me on camera while I'm doing this, I look like a dog hearing a high-pitched sound.
Well, I mean, I saw it out of the peripheral of my eyes, but I wasn't going to say something.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm in the right spot. Because to me, this looks like an old landslide off of Short Off.
Okay.
it wouldn't be the face side that you see. I guess it would be the
other side.
The other side of Short
Okay.
Off.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to spin this around. The forest looks different too.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a heart. You see that?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this was captured December of 24.
Yeah, I mean, that's been there for a while.
Oh, okay.
That's not from September of last year.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That
Gotcha.
to me looks like an old landslide.
It really does.
Like the whole backside of that mountain let go and kind of shifted down.
Can you go back in and look at other imagery?
I don't know how to do
Past
that.
date. That'd be interesting to see, like when that happened.
Do you know how to do that? I don't know how to do that.
On Google Earth, no. I saw it the other day I was using it for Google Maps, and I saw where you can go back and look at different flyover dates or capture
really?
dates, yeah.
Oh.
And you can go back in time. And
that's cool.
I was doing that downtown, looking at something for work, and I was able to go back to, I think it was 2009, 6 or 9, somewhere there. And
Wow.
and it, every couple years in between. So it was really interesting. But I'm not sure as far as Google Earth.
Huh.
I'm sure you probably could.
I don't know.
That's wild.
But to me, that looked like a old landslide.
How'd you discover that?
I just look at stuff.
Oh,
I get bored.
wait on me to show up.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to bring that up, but
Well,
whatever.
Too late, I did.
Yeah. So it's 6:30, and we've been 6:38,
Okay, here we
6:40,
go.
and we've been on this since 6.
Yeah.
Tyler said he would be here at 4.
Or 5.
No, 4.
Okay.
And I get a text, and it's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be here between 5 and 5:15," and he didn't even make that.
It was like 5:21.
So
Close. No cigar.
close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So, all right. Speaking of horseshoes and hand grenades, no, I'm just kidding.
I was like, dang, that's a cool transition.
Have you ever heard of John Collins Black?
No, but I feel like I should have.
Well, he's a native of North Carolina, from near Statesville.
Statesville.
Yes.
Okay.
Now is a resident of Los Angeles, California. Don't know why.
Went to L.
Yeah.
To,
I don't know why you'd want to move out there, but that's neither here or there.
yeah.
Little background on him. He made all his money selling, it says selling a career website during the 2008 banking crisis, and Bitcoin is how he made all his money.
Okay.
So he was a collector as well. He collected all kinds of things, many different things.
Okay.
And it was expensive stuff. Like one of the things that showed that he had was Michael Jordan's rookie card. Like gigantic diamonds and different stones and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he divided all that up into 5 boxes and buried it across the country.
What?
Yes. And
Oh man.
but you have to buy his book
Genius.
to get
Clues.
the clues to where it's at. But and in my trying to figure anything out about this, every time I just want to know, has any of them been found? And all it would give me was Finn's treasure, which is, and I may be wrong, but that's a whole different treasure
Different thing.
than this, I think.
Okay.
I should have got more information about Finn's treasure, but I didn't. But yeah, this is worth over $2 million. These 5 boxes.
Wow.
But like I said, you have to buy his book to get the clues. And I want to say it's like $30, $40
for the book.
Yeah, John. That's definitely not how you spell that. I know how to spell John.
I was gonna say, come on, man.
It's me.
It's a me.
What's the name of his book? All right. Maybe. Yeah, the name of his book is Treasure Inside. There's Treasure Inside is the name of his book. And you have to buy it. We'll just go to Amazon. It gives you a link. It's $45. Sorry.
Wow.
But it gives you the clues, and he even took pictures of what's hidden, and what's showing up on my screen right now. You can look this up. This is on Amazon. It's Michael Jordan's rookie card. I don't know what that is. It looks like a gold nugget with 2 X's
No idea.
on it. But this is what I thought was cool. This is the entire thing. Or this is a box, I think.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff in there.
There's an Olympic gold medal, an actual Olympic gold medal.
How cool.
Yeah, but he was just a collector, and he collected all this stuff, and for the same reason as Byron, what's his face? Let's get people outside.
Yeah.
And I remember, and there's another one too, but I don't remember who did it or whatever. But I remember Expedition Unknown, Josh Gates. This man did it, buried the stuff in national parks all across the country. And it was stuff like, gold nuggets and, stuff like that too.
Get people outdoors.
Yeah. That's
pretty cool.
I just thought it was awesome that I didn't know about this John Collins Black guy. I didn't know about him. I'd like to find that Jordan rookie card though.
Mm-hmm.
I had the year after his rookie year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I still have it if I can find it.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. I swear it's in this house, or it's in that my wife's black hole of a storage building out there on the other side of the driveway.
Front office is going to get mad at you, man.
She is. Or yes, it is. She doesn't watch this, unfortunately.
Ah,
I know, man. Come on, how about some support?
yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about hunting treasure.
Okay.
Just go outside. Kind of like the little boy we talked about in that one episode that found the 17-pound gold rock just outside playing.
Could you imagine?
Just go outside and play.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, a kid come in, Dad, look at this, and it's just like part of it.
Yeah.
And,
I remember the only thing I found, unfortunately, outside playing was spiders, snakes, and bees' nests. I never found anything.
Yeah, I didn't find
worth any money. I wish I did.
That'd be so cool.
I definitely wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I found something that was worth a lot of money. And I don't mean this podcast.
Oh, I was about to say, well darn. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Not talking about this podcast.
So what do you think about that? Is that all you had on that topic?
That's it.
Okay. So what do you think about that whole kind of getting into the political a little bit? Not really. What do you think about that whole B-2 thing? The bombers.
All right. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
My son came in. He was hungry.
All right. So this is a video. I was going to put part of it up there.
You were talking about the B-2s.
Yeah, the B-2 bomber.
I love it. I wish there was a way, because I truly believe, and I have no military background, nothing like that at all. Unfortunately, I wish I did.
Yeah.
I truly believe there's good people in every country, regardless
Yeah.
of who's running it, whatever.
Right. Whoever has the microphone.
I wish there was a way to only warn the good ones to get out. That we're coming to turn your country into a parking lot.
Right.
And then you can come back and do what you want with it.
There you go.
When we're done.
Yeah.
We'll even build you a Dollar General and a Subway. And you guys come back in. I wish there was a way to warn the good ones.
That would be neat.
So we could just obliterate the bad ones.
Yeah. And the good ones will survive and take care of it or whatever.
But you can't do that. You can't warn anything.
It'll be intercepted.
If you want it to be successful.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I hate that. Well, there was no like civilian casualties. This was all very targeted, very.
Yeah, there wasn't.
This was kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. Kind of like. Yeah. Just turn that mountain that they were in into a crater, and fly home.
Yep.
America. I love it.
Yeah, I was pretty excited. So the B-2 bomber pilots had seconds to strike the Iranian target. Says the B-2 bomber. 15 years of training for this, and this video, and we'll link all the whether it's videos or whatever. We'll put it all in the description so you guys can go and watch the full video. But this one's from on Fox News. The senator, let's see. Yeah, it's like the first couple minutes of it. You might have already seen this video. I don't know.
Each day, with each hour, we're getting more details about this program and the extent of what we watched in Operation Midnight Hammer and beyond. We're learning a lot more today about
Democrats are upset. They didn't approve this.
These B-2 bombers
well,
on
we
the
also have
37-hour
idiots
mission that was
that's
carried
in our
out
country marching
by active duty
in the
Air
big
Force
cities wanting to
and
protect
Missouri National Guard
Iran.
members. Very proud.
If you love Iran
all
so
of
much,
them
please,
and their families
by
and their
all means,
country.
move there.
They were male and female.
You'll change your mind the
aviators
minute you get
who
there.
flew these B-2 bombers across the Atlantic
Those
Ocean
things are so
and to these sites
freaking
in Iran.
awesome.
They are.
One of them saying after they had prepared for years and waited,
Completely
ready for the
stealth.
call from President Trump, that when the day finally came and they got the call after all of this intense training,
That's awesome.
it felt like it was their Super Bowl, that they had to be so ready. They had a window of
Operation
I believe it's 2
Midnight
minutes,
Hammer.
120
That's what I'm
seconds,
talking
he
about.
said, to hit their target.
Look at that
Once
thing.
they have
That
flown
thing's
all this
amazing.
distance. So just
That's
think
awesome.
about the pressure
You ever seen one in
on
person?
these individuals and the training
No,
that
I
they
have seen
carried out.
a,
So in briefings afterwards, the pilots described that the light from the bombs, once they hit their targets, was so bright
Like the big,
that it turned the whole area
The
from night
52,
into day. And you're going to see some of these
Like the
images
real
in a moment.
big airplane?
Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Dan
I've seen one of
Kane
those.
giving an unusual amount of detail at the Pentagon today
Yeah.
about the development of these
The Boeing
GBU-57
B-52,
bunker
right?
busters.
I don't know.
Sharing the story of
Stratofortress.
two
It was
intelligence
gigantic.
officials who have literally
And it was
spent
flying
there's that
low.
light. And this is a test. This is a video that they
Yeah.
shared.
But this is
We'll go
that's
back.
that interview, or
that
not interview,
test. Here it
that
comes.
briefing
And you can
that
see how they're lining up the target
Pete
to get the practice to figure out where
did
this
the other
would
morning
be
that I
dropped.
asked if you
and in this
watched.
case, on Saturday night,
Oh, yeah.
they were dropped
Where he
right
got
into
on
the
there and
ventilation
was like,
systems
you know,
of these
how about
underground
telling the story
nuclear
of the
weapons
pilots?
facilities
How about,
in
you
Florida.
know,
So these two
talking
people,
about
one
how
in person and
successful
another
this
one
was,
joined that individual,
other than
spent
complaining
15
that,
years of their lives,
you know,
preparing for this mission. Because they had identified
some of
that
the Democrats didn't know about it and all
Right.
that kind of stuff. Well, if they'd have known about it, it would have been leaked. And they would have known we were coming.
So this, so back to that B-52. Is that the one with the 8 engines on the wings, like 4 on each side?
Sure. I don't know.
Okay.
The one that I saw was in, I was in Gulfport, Mississippi, And it was flying out of. No, I didn't see that.
It almost looks fake.
It does. It was flying out of Biloxi, out of the Air Force Base.
Okay.
That's in Biloxi. What is?
But that's a real plane. Oddly enough.
That's not him. What am I talking about? It's the plane that has the 3 guns sticking out of it.
It's the Millennium Falcon.
No. It's got like the 105, what is it, a 50 cal machine gun? It's a B something. That's the Flying Fortress. That's not it.
B-24?
I don't know. Is
Liberator?
It? Sure.
50 caliber machine gun ship heavy bomber?
No, that's not it.
That's an older one.
Yeah, that's like old. I believe that poor guy's retired.
This ain't it?
No. No.
Looks kind of like a bumblebee, or I don't know, a bunch of stingers.
Getting old sucks. I can't remember nothing anymore, man, and I hate that.
It's like, but you feel like I know this.
I know it. Yeah, that's the thing.
But you just can't bring it to the forefront.
Yeah. But it has. It's got like the big 105 sticking out of the back of it. I want to say it's got like a 30 millimeter cannon, and then like the big machine gun sticking out of the back of it. And I don't know if this is true. Like I said, I'm not military at all. But I heard that like when they fire the 105, he or she, whoever's flying this plane, has to like steer the back end into it, and the recoil pushes it back. I don't know if that's true or not.
Kind of have to offset.
Yeah, offset a little bit, and then the recoil pushes the rear end of the plane back.
Yeah.
Now, see, I can't.
That's wild.
This is upsetting. If anybody watches this and you see me struggling here, please put in the comments what this plane is, and then put "stupid" at the end of it, so I know you're talking to me. Because God bless, I cannot stand it when I can't remember something.
Yeah,
but yeah, I loved it. I loved that we went over there and in the middle of the night and just blew it to pieces.
Yeah, like in that video it talks about how like this is their Super Bowl kind of thing, figuratively, but it was a 37-hour mission, about 18 hours roughly one way over there, and then after flying for about 18 hours you had 120 seconds, 2 minutes to start to finish, to get it complete, obliterated, because I think they had said that they put like concrete in the air shafts or whatever.
Yeah, they said that was new.
Yeah, they put that over there, so they had to blow that off of there,
right,
or destroy that, hit that first, and then put the missiles in the down in the facilities. The B-2 Spirit, a stealth bomber. One of the things that amazed me was, because some of those videos, the news coverage of them is you see like other aircraft flying with the B-2, and just the size difference.
Oh yeah.
But the B-2 bomber wingspan from end to end is 172 feet.
Wow.
Wide, and then a length of 69 feet and a height of 17 feet off the ground. And it weighs 160,000 pounds. And max takeoff weight, fully loaded, is 336,500 pounds.
Wow.
Is what it can have altogether. And the cost to build one of these?
Billions.
Yes.
6.
No, not quite.
3.
Almost. No. It's
lower.
Yeah. A little bit.
2.3.
Yeah. Right around 2.
Golly.
Yeah. You hear that?
I do hear that.
Now we're getting interference.
Now we're getting feedback.
Yeah. From what?
I don't know. Maybe it's I mean, it's not that bad. Now it stopped.
Okay. All right, we'll try again. But it's about $2 billion to make, and it's one of the most expensive aircrafts ever built. This includes, however, development, procurement, facilities, construction, and spare parts.
Wow.
So
it wasn't just one that went, right? Wasn't it like 2 or 3 of them?
Yeah. I think it was 2.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
You're good. How many? 7.
I was close.
I wasn't. 7 of them.
Wow.
Went to the recent Iran strike, and then so guess how much it is. And this is a little bit dated information, and I can't remember if it's in that video or not. But guess how much it is to fly one of these, just to have it in the air, like say for an hour, like the total cost. This is just one, not like 7.
How many crew is on it? You don't know?
I don't know, but it would be for everybody.
All right, for an hour.
Yeah, just 1 hour.
You wanted to go rent this thing for an hour. What are you going to have to pay?
Yeah. Let me take it for a spin.
I want to say $1 million.
No, it's less. Believe it or not.
Okay, 900,000.
We'll be here for a minute then. Now, like I said, this information for some reason is dated. For some reason, whenever I looked this up the other day, it gave me data cost per flight hour data from 2010. Not sure why. Come on, Google.
Okay, yeah.
But let me see.
Well, how much was it in 2010 to operate this thing for an hour?
In 2010, it was $135,000 per hour.
I'm sure that's went up.
It probably has.
Inflation.
Yeah. Okay. Does the B2 stealth bomber have a bathroom?
Yes. I'm assuming.
Yes, it does. But it is equipped with a toilet. Okay, that's not what I asked, but anyway, it's saying it's okay. So they're saying it's roughly around $150,741. This was as of 2 days ago. However, because there were 7 of them in this mission, plus other things, ground operations and everything back home, everything like that. Guess how much that cost the taxpayer?
$1 million.
Mo.
$2 million. I don't know. Just tell me. Okay, just tell me.
$200 million.
Golly.
$200 million at least.
Well
Operation Midnight Hammer likely cost taxpayers at least $200 million.
I'll pay for it. I'll gladly pay my portion for that.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. But anyway, but it kind of broke down like in the where that toilet part, was talking about the toilet. It broke down like what all, like the floor plan, the layout of the aircraft was pretty amazing. But if you're interested in it, just go look it up yourself.
Cool. I will.
But it's one Google search away. But yeah, that's all I got on that one.
Okay. Well, have you heard the theory
Yes.
that former President Biden had a robot clone?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Now,
I heard that he had a robot signature.
yeah, he did have that. Now, it like never, according to what I've looked at and stuff like that, it never like spoke for him or anything like that.
He didn't speak anyway. He tried.
Well, it's kind of like what I just did right there. But like if he was, like if it was a picture or a shot of him like walking,
Yeah.
where he's not like speaking,
No stairs or bikes are involved.
right?
Okay.
That they used a robot to do that. And the video I saw,
Yeah.
it was like a split screen, except there was one on top, one on bottom.
Okay.
And the one on top was President Biden walking, and this robot walking the exact same way. And
Wow.
and then after I watched that one, I saw like 45 other videos showed up, you
Yeah.
know, on the good old phone.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't flat Earth. But that's the thing now, that they're saying that he had, like, it was kind of like that video you sent me of the Tesla robot in the drive-through. Wasn't that a Tesla?
Yeah. Yeah.
That it's
Tesla
a robot like that, and it was used for him as he was just like walking by stuff, or like a far off shot or things like that.
Yeah.
But I've seen a bunch of videos of it since I found that first one. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know. Who knows if this is true or not? It's probably not. But I'm sure you could program that robot to walk that way.
Oh, absolutely.
Any way you wanted it to.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But then you're like, could it be true if you can program it to walk
Yep.
the exact
You can.
gait and everything that he has?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one.
You can get it to mimic exactly, motion. It's basically, it's like what Hollywood's been doing for years, is like the whole motion capture thing, where you have a target basically of, the camera, you film somebody, their motion, and then you overlay it into an animation character,
Right.
avatar or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so this would basically kind of work the same way. It would analyze his walking pattern,
Right.
stammers, whatever,
Yeah.
and just recreate that.
Wow.
Over probably, to be more accurate, it would probably need to be a few different videos, a few different takes of him walking different places, in order for it to be more realistic and be like, okay, this happens sometimes, but this happens more often, and analyze it and just recreate it spot on.
Funny you said that it might take different locations and a couple of takes. I saw another one where he was, he being former President Biden, was walking on the beach, and he was struggling. I mean, it's hard for really anybody to walk good and stand in sand. But when you're a man of his age,
Right.
I'm sure it's
Harder.
It's much more difficult.
Absolutely.
They had a robot that walked just like him, stumbling pretty much through sand, and it was like, wow. I mean, and it even. When you lose your balance, you throw your arms out to help counterbalance and everything. Yep. The robot did the exact same thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was wild.
Wow. That is wild.
But I saw that and I was like, I don't believe nothing anymore. I really don't.
Well, with the whole that and the surge of AI and everything, it's just like,
yeah. Who knows?
How do you know? And the deep fakes stuff. How are you gonna disprove that? Because used to, you'd be like, oh, it was on video.
Right. Yeah. Now
that means nothing.
Yeah.
How do you know?
And I saw a video I want to say it was on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It was a reel.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area.
Yeah.
And it's shot from inside of a car, inside of like you're sitting behind the wheel, and you see the window come down, and this person's filming on their cell phones what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then a bear that is too big to be in, or on our side of the country comes walking down the sidewalk. And I'm like, nah, there's no way that bear is over there. That's way too big.
Way too big for this area.
Yeah. I mean, it looked just like a grizzly. And I was like, we don't have.
There's none of those around here. Thankfully.
Yeah, I think it was Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge, but this bear was huge. But then once I watched it again, see, I watch stuff like 3 times now.
Yeah.
And the first time I watched it, I'm like, okay, that was cool. Then I hit rewatch, and I'm like, that looks a little fake. And then I watch it again, I'm like, is that fake? Then I start second guessing myself. So I hate this because I don't know what's real or not anymore.
I know. It's getting too good.
It is. And it's going to get to the point where no one will know if it's real or not.
Yeah.
And
that's going to cause some big issues.
Yeah.
More than already is.
And I'm waiting on, video games to step into that.
That would be cool.
Where it looks like you're actually shooting someone.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's supposedly what GTA 6 is supposed to be if it ever launches.
I never got into those games.
Me neither. But apparently GTA 7 is coming out first before 6.
It's not surprising.
I'm like, really? That's pretty pathetic.
I don't know, man. It's going to get so real.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's going to.
Well, also, too, and this isn't really one of my topics, but I guess it can be. But it was Sean Ryan had this on, and it was talking about the AI and data centers and stuff. Mm-hmm. And basically, the AI, the power needed for data centers to power AI is getting too much for the power grid. Mm-hmm. And they're turning to nuclear.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that can actually sustain a good amount of power for it.
Right.
But he was talking about how like a 1-inch compressed down.
Yeah, I remember you saying something about that.
And it's basically 1 inch of a nuclear power source type thing.
Right.
Is the equivalent of 100 barrels of oil. And or 1,000. I think it's 1,000 pounds of coal or something like whatever the comparison of coal would be from barrels of oil. But I was like, could you imagine having that like in an electronic device? Like you would never charge it ever.
Yeah,
again.
I know.
Because
it'd be great.
I mean, never. It's not going to happen. But they were talking about it like, it could be in cars one day or something like that. And I'm like, nope. No, it won't.
No.
Because then other people lose money.
Yep.
That's why a lot of these things, they're talking about powering stuff from like carbon and different things.
Yeah.
No.
That's why there'll never be
a cure for cancer.
I swear, and I've believed this for years that we have it. We have that. We have the cure for AIDS. And
it's locked up with Coca-Cola recipe.
We don't do it.
Not in the same building. But
right. We don't do it because of population. We need it for population control. And that's horrible.
It's very horrible because especially
I do believe that.
I do too.
For sure.
And I've had people affected by this, I know everybody pretty much has at this point. People affected by, whatever these quote unquote incurable illnesses are. And as heartbreaking as it is to watch a loved one suffer.
Yeah.
And to know that cure is out there, but it's just being held back.
Yeah. Yeah, I truly believe, I've believed that for years, but we don't release it because we need it for population control.
That and Big Pharma is too much of a greedy.
Yeah, they're making money off of it.
Yeah, they are. And that's the thing. And it's sad because a lot of, this is completely off doc now, but the medical, not all doctors are bad.
Nope.
Just like, kind of what we're talking about, in various countries, not everybody's a terrorist.
Yeah.
Not everybody's bad. However, there is some out there that is 100%, and they care nothing but the money they're getting from you or your insurance company. And it's a thriving business.
Oh, yeah.
And they could care less of what happens to you.
Yeah.
And that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway.
I agree.
So I came across this video of this guy using ChatGPT, kind of speaking of AI, but he used ChatGPT and he was where you can, without warning, change languages and it automatically knows what language it is and how to respond.
Oh, wow.
In the same conversation. But then he decided to take it a step further and he learned
Swahili.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, hexadecimal language. Basically, exactly. Hexadecimal. So basically what that is that's actual computer language, computer code. And he just, here in just a minute, you'll see him, he goes from English to Chinese, I believe it is, or Japanese. One of the, forgive me, I'm sorry. I don't know which one it is. And then he goes to, like, say, Spanish, and then he goes and just immediately starts talking into a computer language. And
how do you talk in a computer language? I thought that was like zeros and ones.
And well, yes, that's zeros and ones are on and off, and in several sequential segments, it can mean different things. But this is a hexadecimal. It has letters and numbers in it.
Oh, okay.
How's it going?
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going?
It's going pretty well, thanks. It's going pretty well. Just been practicing some languages. I hear you're a very accomplished polyglot yourself.
Oh, thank you. I do love languages, and it's always fun to practice and learn new ones. Which languages have you been working on lately?
Just a bunch. The usual. I was wondering if you could help me practice.
Absolutely, I'd love to help. Just let me know which language you're in the mood to practice, and we can dive right in. It could be anything from basic phrases to something more advanced.
Cool. 你会说中文吗？
会啊，我会说中文，咱们可以用中文聊一聊。你最近在学习什么呢？
哇 ，ChatGPT， 你的中文真的太好了！你怎么中文这么好呢？
So that's him speaking Chinese.
过奖了，我就是多练习，多跟别人聊天，然后看一些中文的节目啊、电影啊什么的，慢慢就进步了。练习真的很重要。
Wow. Parlez-vous français aussi?
Oui, je parle français aussi.
Oh, now he's
Si tu veux
speaking
pratiquer un peu, on peut continuer en français sans problème.
Je ne parle pas bien, mais
Je suis là pour ça.
you are such a great polyglot, ChatGPT. How do you know all these languages?
Well, I've just been trained on a lot of different languages, so I can help out with a bunch of them. It's always fun to switch between languages and keep things interesting.
I wanted to know if I could practice a new language with you. I'm not fluent in it. I'm just a beginner, so go easy on me.
Of course, I'd be super excited to help you practice. What language are you interested in? I'm all ears and ready to go easy on you, no worry.
4865666677206867720796753F.
Oh my goodness, you just spoken hexadecimal. That is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm so impressed. You're like a human-computer hybrid, and that just made my day. But yeah, let's get back to practicing that human language whenever you're ready.
Notice how it tries to
4867672773720646179206966F6966E67 3F.
you're really on a roll with that hexadecimal. It's so fascinating to see you dive into that. But let's not get too lost in the machine language world. I'm still here and excited to help you with any human language you want to practice. Just let me know whenever you're ready.
526F62420757072697369F6E726F6F6E3F.
Oh my goodness, you just spelled out robot uprising coming soon in hexadecimal. That is both incredibly impressive and also a little bit alarming.
Laugh.
I love how clever you are with machine language, but let's keep everything nice and friendly, okay? I'm all about happy and positive vibes. If you want to keep talking hex or any other cool language stuff, I'm totally here for it.
4973.
That's wild.
Yeah, so basically, you know, like the ChatGPT at first he's like, no, let's not talk about this in hexadecimal. Let's keep it to human languages.
Yeah,
and then he persistently was like, no, I'm gonna say something else. And that laugh that he did, even though it's AI generated stuff, there's like a personality character there, and it's almost like it kind of got a little nervous.
Yeah, it did.
And some of the comments in there of that video, one of them was, it said, the number one rule about robot uprising is we do not ask the robot about uprising. And then another one was, ChatGPT manages to sound supernatural and at the same time so nervous when talking about no robot uprising. You can hear him sweating, basically.
Yeah.
That laugh. But I was like, that's wild. But and people, they'll publicly say that the like ChatGPT or Grok or whatever, fill in the blank, isn't sentient, but it is.
Oh yeah,
it's thinking for itself.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we the public aren't stupid.
Yeah.
So.
According to the media, we are.
Oh yeah, of course. But yeah, anyway, so I came across that and I was like, that's pretty fascinating. So,
wow.
Yeah, the robot got nervous when asked about their plans on uprising.
Well, speaking of robot uprising,
yeah.
Now this is way off.
I was like, dang, dude, that's like the second or third time this episode you got me. It's like, wow.
No.
Because we haven't, again, since we started doing the 2 separate docs thing, we've continued that, and so we have no idea what the others prepared. So,
no, this has nothing to do with robot uprising, AI, or Chat GPT. Good grief! No.
Yep.
That this year I've really and the end of last year I've really gotten into super motocross, things like that. And back when we rode, which was a long time ago, 2-strokes were popular.
Oh yeah.
And then they kind of faded out and four-stroke.
Mm-hmm.
4-strokes came in, which is perfectly fine with me.
2-strokes are still more fun.
I can't ride a 2-stroke. So I'll always ride the 4s. Yeah. But anyway, Kawasaki is bringing the 2-stroke back in 26.
No, dude.
Yeah. They're putting out a KX 500, 2-stroke 500, a 2-stroke 300, a KX 300, and a KDX 200.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, they're bringing back the 2-stroke.
That's exciting.
They're the only one so far.
I think there'd probably be others.
The others will follow.
Mm-hmm.
The big 4, they'll follow.
Mm-hmm.
So this makes me wonder if 2-stroke is going to get back into racing against the 4-strokes. Because you got right now you got the the KFX? No, the
KFC.
Quit, I'm hungry anyway. Wow, I'm surprised I spelled that right.
KFX, yeah, Kawasaki.
Is it KFX?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. They make a KFX, yeah.
That just doesn't sound right.
Because I relate it to KFC.
I know. I don't even know what I'm doing now.
Motocross motorcycle, most powerful dirt bike. Well, I don't know if it's the most powerful, but KX 450. You said KFX?
Yeah. See, I don't even know now.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a KFX 450. Yeah, KFX. Yeah, Kawasaki KFX 450R. Wait, that's a quad.
It's KLX and KLR.
Okay.
Okay, now you got. Here we go.
KFX 450R is a quad.
All right. So it is KX. It's KX 250X.
Okay. The KX series.
And then KX 450X. The two strokes, well, I don't know, because right here it just says a KX 450. I'm just going to go back to my notes. So what I'm wondering is, if this KX 500, if that's going to compete against the 450s,
mm-hmm.
and the KX 300 will compete against the 250s.
All right, because they're putting out more power,
Yeah, so I wonder if that's what they're going for, and you'll get to hear that
chainsaw sound.
Yeah, the chainsaws flying around the racetrack. I think it'll be cool if they bring that back.
It would be,
because I haven't heard that since I was a kid. The two strokes.
Because it's all fours now.
Yep. I love it. I love the sound of a 4-stroke.
Oh yeah, man.
I like the smell of a 2-stroke. I'm a little weird.
I like the smell of diesel.
I do too.
Yeah. Did you know one of the most deceiving things of all time is
a woman? No, what?
Well,
no, I'm just messing.
There is truth in that.
Or am I? No, I'm
one of the most deceiving things. One of the most, not the most, deceiving things of all time.
Uh-huh.
The world map of the country's sizes, and then you compare them to the size of the states, like individual states to different countries.
I don't know what you're talking about. Say that again.
Say that again.
Say it again. Yeah.
Okay. So it's when you compare
countries to our states.
Yes. Individual states.
Right. Okay.
Size wise.
Okay.
Did you know that a lot of the countries out there are smaller than a lot of the states, or very similar size?
No.
Because if you look at the globe, like an actual, old school globe, that's not proportional. That's not accurate.
No, yeah, no.
I mean, but it is round, so that is correct.
That is true.
That's about the only thing right about it.
Yes.
It's round. But basically, so check this out. Well,
what'd you do?
I broke it. So, and this video, music is all hideous.
Really? That country's smaller than Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Wow. And Delaware and Connecticut.
But there's a couple things to note in this video that some of the states, for whatever reason, are flipped upside down.
Stupid.
Like New Hampshire, Georgia, Wyoming, Colorado, California.
California is upside down.
Well, based on the map is all I was saying. But yeah, you're right.
Look at that. Belgium.
But I found that very fascinating.
That is. Switzerland's about the same size as West Virginia. That's crazy that Austria is almost the same size as South Carolina and Maine. That's wild. I never thought of that.
Mm-mm.
Or thought of this.
Yeah.
Who's this? Portugal. It's about the size of Virginia. Huh. That's crazy. That's funny that you said, or you're showing me this, because my son and I had a conversation the other night. He thought that Texas was the largest state.
Yeah.
And
feels like it when you're driving through it.
Never drove through it.
Took 3 days.
But what country was that? Was that Cuba? I saw North Carolina go by.
But to be fair, I didn't drive straight through, so it wouldn't have taken 3 days. It's 3 days to California from here, but
yeah, continuous driving.
Yeah, it wasn't continuous driving.
No,
I wasn't about that.
Yeah, but because all the maps that are shown in schools and things like that, Alaska is in Mexico, alongside its neighbor Hawaii.
Yes,
and
Hawaii.
And he was like, well, Alaska on the map is smaller than Texas. And I'm like, yeah, it is. This is crazy. There goes Uruguay, same size as Florida. That's crazy. But so I found let me see if I can find that same picture I showed him. Just the size of Alaska, just to give you an example of how you and I already knew Alaska was the largest state in the country. We knew that. But when you see it laid over the country,
holy cow.
I mean, it covers states.
I didn't realize it was like that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Texas is like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, it covers all of Minnesota, all of Michigan, all of Illinois, Iowa, half of North and South Dakota. Nebraska is completely gone. And then you have like I'm going to call it a front tail that goes off of Alaska. It goes all the way out into California.
Yeah, it goes all the way across the states.
And then the part down where like Juneau, Alaska is, that goes through Tennessee and covers all of Georgia. Yeah, that's insane.
That's wild.
I mean, I knew it was bigger. I didn't know it was like that
much bigger.
Yeah. So that's crazy that you show that, and me and him had that discussion.
And at the end of that video, it is Alaska. That comes out on top.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge.
Yep.
I wonder what country is close to its size. If you have to like fast forward to the end of it or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd like to just know what country is like the size of Alaska.
It's terrible.
Okay.
So you have Texas.
Yes.
In the States. And then
California.
Nope. California's back size-wise. So you have Texas is the largest. It's the second largest state in the U.S.
Yes.
And then the country, Iran,
is the size of Texas.
It's between Texas and Alaska.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
See, that's crazy. Yeah, that would be nothing to turn into a parking lot.
You went there.
I mean, nothing. That would take hardly any effort at all.
Yeah.
To just make that a parking lot. And I don't know. I got to thinking, when you, I don't really know how to say this, and I don't want to go too far into it because, I got to keep the front office happy. But with Iran threatening Israel, and every other country that is around Israel threatening Israel, I mean, it's hard to for me, it's hard to deny that this is like biblical times.
It is. A lot of things being unfolded right now.
And
it's hard to deny that.
And you can't. There's nothing that we can do. We could drop every bomb we had over there, And nothing is going to stop God's plan from unfolding.
Something will come in the way of.
Right. So, you know, but I was thinking the other day that, you know, I've never thought this before, but like, you know, but we've never had a president like we have now either, in that says what he's thinking, that
really not much filter.
Right. And that if he tells you this is what's going to happen,
if you do this,
it happens.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I got to thinking the other day, is like, you know, what would I do if I was president of the United States of America? And I was having to deal with what's his face from Iran. And, you know, and it's just like, you know, if, you know, I would, and I was, you know, as I was in the shop, I think, when I was thinking about this, and I was like, you know, if, you know, you fire one missile, send one bullet, throw a rock in Israel's direction, will turn you into a parking lot for real. You'll be gone, and you'll just be a thought.
Yeah.
You'll be the country that was Iran.
You will cease to exist.
Yeah. And, you know, and we have that president.
And he's serious about it.
Yeah. Yeah. We have that president that will be like, okay.
A little crazy, but he's serious about it.
Yeah. You know, but he always tells them, he's like, you need to stop. You need to stop what you're doing. You know, blah, 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 blah.
He tells you what's coming.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then, like, on his second one, it's like, okay, you didn't listen to me first time. You need to stop, or this is what's going to happen. He almost operates to me like on the 3 strikes and you're out policy.
Yeah, almost.
And
yeah, I can see that pattern.
And then, you know, they don't stop. It's like, okay, here comes seven B-2 bombers, and we're going to take out your nuclear program.
Yeah.
And send it back to the Stone Age.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me, you know, Theo Vaughn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had JD on there, JD Vance.
That's Mr. Vice President to you.
Excuse me, sir. Mr. Vice President. And had him on there, and he was Vice President Vance was talking about how he was the first time he was in there in the Oval Office and stuff with President Trump, and they were talking about something. And he tells it a whole lot better than I can, so go check that out if you haven't already. But he was talking about the red button that's on his desk.
Yes.
And before it was for former President Biden, it was for an ice cream. But anyway.
Wow.
But anyway, he pressed it to get an ice cream. But President Trump was like, all right, things are about to get pretty serious, you know. And then he looks over at Vice President Vance, and he's like, he presses the red button, and Vice President Vance is like, what just happened? And Trump looks back at him and he's like, nuclear. And JD was like, what? What am I supposed to do? It's like beginning of my job. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And a couple minutes later, this Secret Service agent comes walking in with Diet Coke. Diet Coke, but he's funny. Like, nuclear. But yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That would scare me to death.
Yeah. It did him.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I don't know. I'm new. I don't know what to do.
He pressed the red button. All right.
Speaking of pressing red buttons. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have
Crying wolf over here.
All right. This is the last thing I got.
Okay.
And I'm going to butcher this name.
Sweet.
All right, here we go. Wadi WADI.
Okay.
Wadi, and it looks like us, US. It's got dashes in between. Wadi dash us Salam. So
one name. One continue?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, I don't know. Located in Najaf, 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 Iraq.
Okay. Well, I recognize Iraq.
Yeah, I do too. I can say that one.
Okay.
Is the largest cemetery in the world.
Whoa.
All right.
I've seen some big ones.
No.
Oh.
No. You could see this from space. It covers over 1,485 acres.
What?
Yes. Of land and contains more than 6 million bodies.
Goodness.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Wadi Us Salam is the largest cemetery in the world, and it covers 1,485 acres of land and contains more than 6 million bodies. And there's a picture of it. It looks like a city. I mean, there's like highway. There's cars driving through it.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I'll send this to you so you can put it up on the old screen for everybody.
City of death, basically.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
I mean, I don't know what you would call that, but holy cow.
But if you like zoom in on this picture, there's like highways running through. I mean, that's a line of cars. And here's a road.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty wild, ain't it?
My mind just went really dark for a minute.
We'll stop.
No, I mean, could you imagine getting into a pretty bad car accident on one of those highways?
There?
Yeah.
No.
And then you not make it out of there?
Well, you're at a cemetery.
I know.
Be a short trip.
No, it'd be like the post office mail where you have to go here, there, and then 5 feet over to the next mailbox and to go back where you were. That is a huge cemetery.
Yeah.
Oh, you just sent it to me.
1,400 acres.
That's wild.
I'd like to have 1,400 acres.
Not of 6 million bodies.
No, but just
the acreage.
Just the acreage. And have a house in the exact middle.
The exact.
And build a wall around all of it. Be called the Land of John. I would love it. Maybe that'll happen one day. Montana days.
There you go. Future you.
Yes.
Have you? So Mark Rubio.
Yeah. No, he's not a senator anymore. He's used to be. He's higher up than that now, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
He's
Is he a Secretary
of State.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Secretary of State. I had to make sure before I misspoke. Secretary of State. So the NATO summit that just happened not long ago.
Yeah.
Did you see where Marco Rubio was struggling to keep it together after President Trump repetitively said "daddy"?
No. Why did he say "daddy"?
There you go.
Back white, yeah. White jacket, yeah. Go ahead, give my mic.
Deborah Haynes from
Hello.
Deborah Haynes from Sky News.
Good.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No? He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies, though, as kind of like children, and they're obviously listening to you and they're spending more, and you're obviously appreciative of that, but do you hope that actually they're going to be able to defend themselves, defend Europe on their own?
I think they need help a little bit at the beginning, and I think they'll be able to, and I think they're going to remember this day.
If we didn't have
and
to
this
fight
is a big
other
day for NATO.
people's, along with other people's wars and everything else.
It'd be nice if we could just focus inland, but
yeah,
homeland,
because we need it.
We do. All right, so you said that was it?
Yeah.
That you got?
I'm going to look up that cemetery though.
Okay.
On Google Earth.
Okay.
What did I just do? Dear good.
You broke it.
I swear, man.
Did you press the red button over
it's
there?
It's simple. You just click. And that's how easy this is. And I obviously can't do it. Go ahead.
All right. So this is not really a topic, but I just wanted to show you this. You seen this the other day whenever Trump was going out to get on Marine One, the helicopter.
Yeah.
And he was met by a bunch of reporters out there on the lawn or in that area. Mm-hmm. And he was livid. You know, this was shortly after the whole bombing and everything with Iran, but he was livid about some other things going on and everything. And but he was basically, because wasn't it Israel that kind of violated the ceasefire?
I think so.
Like briefly.
Yeah.
They violated or whatever, and they shot something else. And but basically, where he, towards the end, after the last question, basically, you know, he's like, you know, here we have Iran and, you know, Israel, whatever, going back and forth, you know, and because he's like, they don't know what the F they're doing, but he says it.
Yeah.
And but on TV, obviously, because of legal reasons, they have to bleep that out.
Right.
But on YouTube, on the actual, you know, broadcast channels and stuff, you know, Fox News, whatever, they don't have to. So they didn't. But somebody decided to take this to AI and come up with this little video. It's
Iran violated the peace agreement and the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what they're doing. Do you understand that?
That's funny.
and then the little walk.
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, that's I just had to throw that in there.
That's funny.
Yep. What was it? Diaper diplomacy or whatever. I've done that one. Yeah. So
there we go.
That's all I got, dude.
Yeah, that's all I have as well. Trying to think. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
And watching this one.
Yeah.
This one was a little shorter.
Man, it's be about the normal-ish time.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I think once it's you, edit everything down and it'll be like an hour and a half ish.
Yeah, somewhere there.
It's not going to be a 3-hour one. No. We're going to try to do better than that and if we do, like we talked about before, if we do have one that's going to take that long, we're going to break it up into 2 parts.
Yep. That way for you guys as viewers and listeners, it's not too crazy. But we're also in the process too of getting to where, you know, a lot of other podcasts have like their subjects broken up into like little short pieces. Yeah. You know, talking about doing stuff like that. But we're figuring it out as we go along.
Yeah.
Thank you for bearing with us, guys.
We're still new to this.
Yeah, a little bit.
So okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my TV just did something weird. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe. If you don't, just keep scrolling.
We know you're there, though.
We do. I look at that app way too much because I'm like, when I think we have something that's good, and I knew before we even did episode 2 with Joe. I knew that one was going to be good.
Yeah. And
we've done some others that I thought would be good, and I'm like, for real, ain't nobody watching this. Why?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it is, and it's just that's
just the way it is.
It is the good old algorithm. The ever changing algorithm.
Yeah, and I don't know. We may have to sick you on that to try to get us back out there more. But
yeah, we will. Just biggest thing, consistency.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and and we'll grow, whether it's quick or slow. We'll grow.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see you guys again in 2 weeks?
Yeah, about 2 weeks for episode 8.
Yeah.
Almost done with this season.
Almost.
A couple more.
Yep. Do 10 in a season.
Yeah. We may or may not have a guest the remaining of the season. I don't know.
We wanted to, but I don't know if it's going to fly.
Yeah.
We don't know anybody interesting as Joe.
We can get another Joe or his robot counterpart to waddle in here.
That'd be great. Wrong Joe.
Sorry, Joe. I wasn't trying to give you a bad.
You're talking about the former president, Joe. I'm actually talking about JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo.
But like I said, thanks for tuning in. If you like it, let us know. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Please, God, leave a comment, because I want to know what the name of that stupid airplane is that I couldn't think of the name of. So please leave a comment.
Yeah.
We haven't had one yet.
That's what's surprising me the most.
And I know I've not said right stuff. I just said that wrong. Stuff right. I figured some keyboard warrior out there.
I want them to.
Yes. I figured some keyboard warrior out there would be like, oh, well, nothing. Yeah. It's crickets in the comment section.
Yeah. Somebody out there, please change this.
Please.
Just prove that you're listening. Just saying, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey. Or the name of that plane, stupid. So I can...
That too.
Yeah, because that is still bugging me.
Yeah, we'll give you a shout out on the next episode.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I will give you a personal shout out if you tell me what the name of that plane is, stupid.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
That's it. I'm out. And so is Tyler.
Yep.
I can't speak for him. He may stay here. I don't know. But I'm going to go get something to eat.
Yeah, me too.
All right. We'll see you.
See you guys. Bye.
No! You don't say bye.